They opened the sarcophagus and regretted it, the smell of which people lost consciousness. 3 bodies in a thick red liquid, no names, no inscriptions, without explanation. In another part of Egypt, archaeologists found a corridor under the sand, carved with precision, as if it was built not by men, but by car. Where it led, nobody knows. And even a ray of light in one of the temples touched the altar exactly at that moment when the sun rose above the horizon. Different discoveries, different people, but they all found the same thing: Egypt, which lives by laws that we have yet to know. My name is Elder, and if you're interested in seeing where the past drives you crazy, sign up, because today I'm going to tell you stories that can't be explained. The Great Pyramid is a breath of eternity, cut into stone. Its shape is perfect. The sides face to the sides of the light, and the blocks are fitted with a precision that even modern engineers can't achieve. We thought we knew everything about her, but in the year 2023, under layers of limestone, they found something that should not be: a secret passage hidden deep inside. Through a hole the size of a palm, the scientists passed a miniature camera and saw a narrow corridor going into darkness. 9 meters of absolute silence. No inscriptions, no sarcophagi, no traces of life. Only perfect walls and the feeling that someone has been waiting for a long time when they will look there again. Scientists called it technical cavity. But if it's just a mistake, why is it cut with mathematical precision that matches the direction of ancient stars? Maybe this camera is part of a mechanism that still works. Egypt didn't just build tombs, it built tools for communication with eternity. And it is not limited to the tops. Its true secrets lie deep underground, where the stone becomes denser than the light and where the curiosity of man meets what was better not to find. This happened in Alexandria, a city where one day discovered a sarcophagus, which perhaps should not be disturbed. This story began with a shovel. The workers dug pits and stumbled on granite, but it was not just stone. Out of the sand appeared the edge of the sarcophagus, black like oil, huge, without a single sign. When the lid was raised, the air seemed to be alive. The smell, as if from another time, hit the archaeologists in the face, a mixture of rot, metal, and something that is beyond description. Inside, 3 skeletons immersed in a storm-red liquid. No mummification, no tissue, no symbols, just bodies and smooth stone, polished to the mirror. Who are they? Why together? Why without a name? And why bury them in a sarcophagus of czarist level? Scientists still argue. Some say burial of a noble family, others ritual. But the granite is too clean, the shape too perfect, and the place too strange. Perhaps it is not a tomb, but a vessel in which to hold not bodies, but something else. Egypt knew how to keep secrets, especially those that cannot be touched. Egypt knows how to speak differently. Sometimes the silence of underground tombs, where even the air seems ancient, and sometimes sound born from the very stone. And when you stand in front of the 2 giants at kneel, you realize that even a stone can sing. On the banks of the Nile, there are 2 colossi, huge, almost 20 meters high. People call them statues of Memnon. They survived earthquakes, sandstorms, centuries. But the main thing, they once sang. At dawn, when the first ray of sun touched their shoulders, the air around them began to vibrate. First a slight sound, then an extended hum like a voice. He was heard by travelers, rulers, and emperors. The Greeks said that it was Memnon who welcomed his mother, the goddess Sare. and the Romans drove through the desert just to hear this rock song. Then the sound disappeared. When the statues were restored, the cracks through which the air passed filled with solution, and along with the cracks, the voice disappeared. Scientists say physics, but can simple physics make a granite sing at dawn for millennia? Maybe it was a ritual of awakening, a way to animate the earth with the voice of the sun. Egypt does not distinguish between the divine and the mechanical. For him, it is the same thing. But Egypt is not only sound, it lives by light. Here, everything is subordinated to the sun. It does not just illuminate, it dictates the rhythm of life. And once, in the heart of Heliopolis, this rhythm was embodied in a temple where time was measured not by sand, but by a ray of light. Heliopolis, the city where priests worship the sun not as a god, but as the law of the universe. Here, light was considered not a symbol, but knowledge. Archaeologists have found the remains of a grand temple built with such precision that even modern engineers cannot understand its calculations. On a certain day of the year, during an equinox, one single ray of sunlight passed through a hole in the ceiling and fell directly onto the altar, not sooner or later. It wasn't just a temple, it was a library of light, the most sophisticated instrument to measure time with the sun. Every stone, every corner reflected the movement of the celestial bodies. Error in calculations, no more than 2 minutes. Even now, with lasers and satellites, this precision is amazing. The ancients saw not only the position of the stars, but also understood the mechanics of time. And the most amazing thing is how this temple worked. As the sun rose, the copper mirrors directed a ray of light into the room, enlivening the sanctuary. When the light touched the altar, the ceremony began. It was not a ritual, but a demonstration of the power of light over matter. Perhaps Heliopolis was not just a place of worship for Ra, but a center of knowledge where the ancients learned to understand the energy coming from nature itself. And if they could actually measure and direct light with that precision, then they knew more about the world than we think. After Heliopolis, it seems that the ancients controlled the light themselves. But if you go down a little lower, and the light disappears, under the sands of Saqqara lies another Egypt, without sun, without gods, without sounds, only stone and darkness, in which is hidden what even the Egyptians should not have found. South of Cairo in Saqqara, there is a place under the sand that was long considered a myth. It was called Serapeum, an underground sanctuary where, according to legend, the sacred bulls of Apis were buried. But when the archaeologists went down there, it turned out that what they saw did not fit into the concept of ancient Egypt. Under the ground stretches a network of narrow tunnels, cut with mathematical precision. In each of them is a giant sarcophagus, made from a solid piece of granite weighing up to 80 tons. The covers fit so perfectly that even razor blades cannot be inserted between them and the body. Some of the sarcophagi are polished to a mirror, with no scratches inside. Everything is too precise, too pure, too complicated for a time when there were no steels or mechanisms to do it. Scientists call them the coffins of bulls, but in most sarcophagi, found neither remains nor traces of burial rituals. They are empty, and it seems that they are not made for animals, but for something that should be sealed forever. Who and why created the underground complex with such precision? Perhaps it is not at all a burial place, but an ancient mechanism whose meaning we have long lost. Perhaps the sarcophagi are not coffins, but containers in which the Egyptians kept not bodies, but energy, memory, or even the very idea of immortality. When you stand in these narrow corridors, you feel that the air there is heavy, not from time, but from presence. Egypt does not give answers, it only makes you ask again. Each discovery here does not put a point, but opens a new page, and the deeper we look at the past, the more it looks back. We have only touched its mysteries. Next, even more ancient, even more mysterious, even closer to the border between knowledge and faith. Sign up so as not to miss the following stories. Ahead is a place where the past seems to be the future, and time is just sand in the hands of others.